Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. So I am Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. Okay, my name is Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. Okay, my name is Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. Okay, my name is Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. Okay, my name is Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. Okay, my name is Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to fellow audience and listeners out there. Today, Tuesday, I hope it's a blessed Tuesday, and here I am with you to share some of my personal and professional knowledge and experience regarding the topic of stress. Okay, my name is Dr. Rafida. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Okay, so I'm so sorry for a long silence a while ago. So this is my first time, going live using webinar. So as the topic is on stress, it's actually causing some stress towards me, but not to worry because today is a sharing session and I'm going to share with you not just about what is stress, what are the causes of stress, what are the symptoms of stress, and also what are the strategies that we can use in order to manage our stress. So I hope you can bear with me for about less than 30 minutes in order for us to understand better regarding the stress that we experience, especially during the MCO period. That we can use in order to manage our stress. So, let me tell you about stress, the definition from a psychology perspective. Because I'm pretty sure that most of us, we experience stress throughout our life, especially when we are bombarded with certain challenges and demands, when we try to fulfill our tasks as a human beings, to play our multiple roles as a person, as a career person, as a daughter, as a wife, as a husband, or as a student. So, stress can be defined as our mental and bodily reactions to a challenge or demands that we face or encountered in our daily life. So, stress is sometimes good, but sometimes can be bad, and it can cause some difficulties of adjustment in completing our daily tasks. So, please bear in mind what I said earlier, that stress is not all bad influences to our life, because we still need some level of stress in order to perform our task to the ultimate level. In order to become productive, we need some kind of stress. And this is what we call good stress. But every individual, we have a different level of good stress. This good stress can achieve the optimum level, meaning it can boost our performance to become a productive individual and also boost our performance to the highest or peak level. But when stress is excessive, or when stress is beyond our ordinary or normal control, then stress becomes destructive. This is what we call negative stress, excessive stress. Okay, so I hope with this definition you can get some kind of idea what is stress is all about. So I just recap again. So stress is our mental and bodily reaction to a challenge or demands in our daily life. All right, so let me just move on so that we can really understand the nature of stress. Have you ever recall when you want to sit for an exam or you want to meet your boss for a yearly appraisal? How do you feel? What sort of bodily reactions that you experience? Now, let's focus on the physical reactions first. Sometimes you feel that your heart beats, your heart beats faster, you know, tuk, tak, tuk, tak. And then sometimes you feel that your hands, especially your palm, you have sort of like, clammy, clammy palms, meaning a bit sweaty. And then, sometimes you feel that on edge, like EG sensation, you can't sit still. So that is actually the physical symptoms of stress, where it affects your heart rate, your breathing, as well as your bodily overall reactions. All right. And sometimes when you are having some kind of excessive stress, your emotion also a bit chaotic. It's very difficult for you to keep calm because your emotion, the anxiety, you become so anxious, you become worried, you sometimes easily become annoyed with certain or little things, and you also become easily frustrated with something, and sometimes can trigger anger. So these are the indicators of your emotional symptoms of stress. So this is really very challenging period whenever a person is experiencing stress, especially the excessive stress. So not just the physical and the emotional symptoms, but stress also can cause some kind of behavioral symptoms. Sometimes for a person who experience stress, they will, they will become prone to accident. Sometimes when even walking on their normal route, and then they will, start bumping into something, it can easily knock down, even the chair or table. So behaviorally, it's not fully coordinated. So this is the behavioral symptom of stress. All right. So to understand stress, so there are, three dimensions of symptoms, like I told you earlier. So it can be physical, can be emotional, and it can be behavioral. And of course, all these makes our mind cannot have its normal functioning, and of course, it will affect our productivity and our performance, even as a person or as a professional. So I hope you get some kind of idea what stress is all about and what are the symptoms that normally a stressed person experience. Okay. So why don't you move on? We move on to the next one in order for us to really understand what are the causes of stress. Okay, there are a variety of sources that can cause stress, all right? And these causes ranging from not just our situational experience, but it also can result from pressure, pressure, tekanan. So the pressure, situational events, for example, death of a loved one, you know, divorce, perhaps, life conflicts, and many other sources of stress. So pretty much whatever things that happens to us, it can cause stress because it depends on the mental and bodily reactions to that particular stressor or the cause of stress. All right. So this means that whenever we face causes of stress, the most important thing is to take care of the way we give meaning to that particular event. For example, work pressure. Work pressure. Sometimes when a person being asked to do so many tasks and but given limited time to complete the task, so this can create some kind of anxious feeling, and sometimes can also make the person anticipate worry. What would happen if I don't complete the task in the given time? What would my boss think of me? Will this affect my key performance indicators? I know my yearly appraisal. So this is what we call the way we perceive the, the stressor or the cause that can intensify the stress level rather than giving us the optimal level of stress, but it can cause us to experience excessive stress. So again, our perceptions towards the things that being given to us or the things that we face in our daily life, or like the pressures that we experience, this is actually the most important thing that can define whether the stress is a positive stress or the negative stress. All right. So the causes of stress, they got a lot. So what I can summarize here is, of course, the first is pressure. Pressure, for example, ya, tekanan, ya. And second is conflict. And of course, the third can be the environmental factors. For example, right now, during MCO, when we were experiencing a pandemic crisis of COVID-19. So this is causing some kind of crisis on conflicts to every Malaysian because it affected their normal routine, they affected their daily life functioning. One example of it that happened during MCO is actually most employees were asked to work from home. So this is, the situation that can cause stress and sometimes can cause excessive stress, because when you are at home, you are not just an employee, but you also, wearing the hats of a mother, a wife, or a husband, you know. Sometimes you are the cleaner, you are a teacher because your kids and your children, they don't go to school. So a lot of roles and responsibilities are actually on your shoulder. So working from home, of course, is a blessing, but sometimes it is a challenge for you, and this can also affect your stress level. Okay, so not just environmental situation, but of course, situational situation, life events. For example, what I said earlier, like divorce, getting a new family member, for example, having a newborn, and also when you experience loss of a loved one due to sudden death. So all these can become the causes of stress. So far we have covered, three most important topics. That is, what is stress all about? What are the symptoms of stress? And what are the possible causes of stress? So now let's move on to the last topic. Now is actually to identify what are the suitable strategies and techniques that we can use in order to deal with excessive stress. Okay, I'm pretty sure my fellow audience and listeners out there that there are some strategies that you have carried out and it's workable. But there are also some strategies that you have, done it before and yet it's not quite effective and, does not really reduce your stress. Again, stress management techniques and strategies. There are variety, out there, but to be wise in choosing the most workable, the most effective one that works for you is a challenge by itself. Okay, so today I'm going to introduce you a wide range of strategies and techniques to combat or to deal with stress. And I hope you will take some time in order to practice or to apply these strategies in order to make sure or to evaluate whether these strategies are workable for you or otherwise. Okay, so uh, let me summarize that there are several dimensions or several themes of strategies and techniques that we can use to combat or to manage our stress. We don't want to eliminate stress because remember, I told you that stress also can contribute to positive effects to us. For example, when we have optimal level of stress, it can boost our performance and it can make us a productive person. But there are also what I said excessive stress that can cause many detrimental effects to us as a person as well as a professional. So this excessive stress is the one that we need to manage properly and effectively. All right. So now because my topic is on stress management during MCO, so let us uh, recall the scenario during MCO. MCO means limited movement, restricted movement. We can't easily go out to do our normal things. For example, go for shopping in a mall. If it's not serving the purpose, essential matters to our life. So sometimes this cause us to feel a bit of, overburdened to being stuck at home, especially for those people who have the, outgoing personality, who likes to go out, who likes to socialize with people, So this can cause a very stressful situation for them. So excessive stress during MCO can be managed properly, providing you put the effort and try to apply the strategies to see whether it really works for you or not. Okay. So the first theme or category of strategies that I'm going to introduce to you is, of course, involve physical or psychomotor, meaning it's involve movement. Movement, but not outside of the house, but it's still inside of the house. So what you can do is doing physical exercises or do some recreational activities. For example, a very handy kind of technique is doing Zumba or, aerobic with the help of YouTube. This can be done at home. It does not need you to go out to the park or, to go to the gym or something like that, but you can still do this kind of exercise at home. All right. So doing Zumba, aerobic, or maybe pocho pocho, or whatever kind of activities that can maximize your physical movement. So this is good because it helps you to feel calm, and it helps the production of serotonin and dopamine, which is good to to alleviate stress and to promote relaxed mode. Okay, so that is physical or psychomotor kind of strategy. Now, the one that I like most is actually what I call cognitive strategies. Okay, because for academicians like myself who heavily use, you know, cognitive ability in order to perform our duties, sometimes this has become a habit. So using cognitive strategies to manage stress is really helpful for those who are cognitively based person. So technique like imagery, imagery meanings you imagine that you are in a place where you like most. For example, at the beach, your favorite beach, or you are at a certain recreational places, perhaps Genting Highland or Cameron Highland. So imagery techniques means you visualize the places that makes you feel good, that create a feeling of calmness and relaxed mood. So you just close your eyes for a while and then just imagine yourself in your favorite beach, you know, and the wind blowing your face, and then you can hear the sound of the wave. So these kind of imagery techniques can be very useful. So you can take out about 10 to 15 minutes to get into the detached mode of performing your whatever duty or task that you have to fulfill. But you take time out for a while for 10 to 15 minutes and just detach yourself from your current situation and use your imagination and visualization in order to get the feeling of calmness and relax. Okay, so far we have covered two categories of strategies and techniques. Okay, another thing that we can do is actually a very simple one. I call it like a breathing techniques. When you are experiencing excessive stress, of course, sometimes you feel panic, you have high anxiety. I mean, you are so worried. So sometimes what you can do is just, do a deep breathing technique. Deep breathing technique means you have to breathe in, deep breathe in, Then you breathe out. You do it for several times, in a sequentially manner. But when you want to breathe in, you breathe in through your nose. And then when you want to breathe out, you just, breathe out through your mouth. And do this for several times and pay particular attentions to your lung, diaphragm, and then imagine that you are breathing in a very good and positive vibes inside you. And then when you breathe out, imagine that you are, you know, um, uh, what do you call it, generating or extracting all the toxin, all the negative vibes inside yourself. Let you expel the sources of stress. So you can use breathing techniques together with your imagination. So breathe in the good positive vibes and breathe out all the nasty toxic and all the troubles that you experience that cause you to feel this excessive stress. Okay, so there are quite a number of strategies out there, but all these is only workable when you try them out and see the results for yourself. Okay? Because even though some of these strategies are effective for some people, but it does not necessarily can be effective for you because we are, after all, different individuals and we have different ways of seeing things, and we have a different sets of experience and different sets of traits. So please, if your friend use certain strategy, it doesn't mean that strategy works for you. But your challenge is to try out the strategies that I introduced to you, especially during this MCO period, and see the results for yourself. All right? And if the results is really giving you, some kind of relaxed mode, calmness, and make you become a better person, can cope with your daily functioning, meaning that particular techniques and strategies are really workable for you. Okay, so basically, in our short period of sharing today, I have covered 4 important topics that can make us better understand about stress management, especially during MCO. So far, we have understand what is stress. What is actually stress? What is stress in terms of the definition? We also have covered about the symptoms of stress, from 3 categories, physical, behavioral, and emotional. We also have identified several possible causes of stress that can contribute to our stress level, especially that can, make us feel overburdened or experience excessive stress. And of course, last but not least, we have covered some examples of strategies and techniques that we can use to combat or to manage our stress. So again, I hope that this sharing is very useful for you, and I hope that if you have any queries or question, you can just write it down and I will try to respond to your question a bit later. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. And I apologize for any technical problem that happens because after all, we need some level of stress in order to keep on moving. Again, Rafida, wish you a blessed Tuesday. Stay at home, stay safe, and we can manage this pandemic successfully. Thank you very much and see you later. Okay, so we have some questions. I'm not too sure whether this is a questions or a comment. All right, so thank you, Dr. Rafida. I found this session helpful. All right. Uh, Terima kasih. So I try to locate any specific questions. All right. So well, it seems that we don't have any specific questions. These are all comments. Thank you, Effendi. I hope I know you. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, Muhammad. And Miss Muhammad Samsuri. Okay, so okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching again, and I hope the sharing is useful for you. Till we meet again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Stop streaming, mana? Stop streaming. Stop streaming.